Hello Goblins, it's Chris, Eldritch Pipes, with some whiskey reviews. It's been a little while, a week or two, hasn't it? But first, I was reminded that I had said if a pipe didn't turn out well, because at the time it was looking like it had the flaws in it, in the briar might be too big, I would be giving it away. And then you didn't hear anything from me. The pipe turned out fine. You'll be sad to hear. In fact, since then, I have made another one. I think I showed you it part made in the last tobacco review, but here's the Slender Man as it is, finished. It's a deeper bowl than on mine. Really pleased with the Orange Cumberland, came out really nicely. And almost like but went a bit more whimsical with the bowl shape. It looks a bit more I don't know, like a wizard would smoke it. So that's that one. That is sold, unfortunately. That was going to go into my shop, but it is sold before it had a chance to get there. Right, to the whiskey. Now, this may shock you, but not all whiskey comes from Scotland and Ireland. I think, well, you know that I've done a Japanese whiskey, so you already know about Japanese whiskies. Oh, that reminds me. I realised I never kind of like positioned myself in the whiskey world, as it were, how I would describe myself. So all I am is a whiskey enthusiast, not an expert. I don't have extensive knowledge of whiskey. I'm not positioning myself as a whiskey authority. Although hopefully soon I will be having someone come over and taste who kind of is. But that's for later. I am just someone who has collected whiskey for a while and enjoys it. So if I get my information wrong, I get it wrong. So where are we going first? We're going really local to me. These guys haven't been going for that long. You probably haven't heard of it. It is the Cotswolds Distillery. Don't be shocked if you haven't heard it. The Cotswolds region lies somewhere between Leamington, which is here where I live, and Oxford. Or if your geography is more general, between Birmingham and Oxford. And I'm not exactly sure how long they've been open. For a while, they were just making gin. For obvious reasons, really, because whiskey has to be aged for a minimum of 3 years before it can be called whiskey. Now, this is a no age statement. In fact, they don't have any age statements on any of their expressions. I think there's like a reserve, a founder's reserve, director's reserve, something like that. This is their sort of main bottling at the moment. No age statement. It is matured in ex-bourbon casks. That's a solid plus from me. And it is bottled at 46%. So, tick, tick. It has a really curious nose. It's really fruity and quite sherbety. In fact, it is a bit, it's quite lemon sherbet. It's on that spectrum. But it's got this kind of like, it's got some alcohol funk to it. Just a little of that, that a hint of that banana edge, lemon with a hint of a banana. I wish I knew how old this was. Anyway, let's give it a go. It's nice. It's very nice. That sounds like the death toll, doesn't it? It's nice. No, it is nice. Unfortunately, the first, you just get like a bitterness that comes in at first, and that bitterness actually kind of dominates a little. There is some sweetness. It's got this kind of rich, I guess it's kind of like got this sort of marmalade element to it. It feels like, you know, sort of like a bitter marmalade, like thick cut marmalade. It's got that, it's sweet, but with the bitter. It's not overly bitter. I don't think it's slightly more bitter than I would like, but it does balance the sweetness out. So it doesn't come across, although the nose is quite fruity and sherbety, it doesn't come across as an overly sweet blend of malts, I suppose. But I don't even know where this comes in terms of, is it their first year bottling? I had this for about a year. I'm not sure how long they've been going, so I don't know. It's like it's a really promising style, but they're not quite there yet. Still very drinkable. So that is the Cotswold single malt whisky. Very pleasant, if a touch bitter. I say that again. And the second one, where are we going for the second whisky? All right. My friend Hugh, who was on one of the previous whisky tastings, for a time was studying in Denver, Colorado, and picked up a whisky that was there at the time. Now, this is Stranahan's Colorado whiskey. American whiskies, not bourbons, obviously I'm not talking about bourbons, I'm talking about actual whiskies. I've had a rocky road with the last one. When Hugh actually introduced me to this, I was not anticipating a good time based on the last one that I had. But actually, this one is somewhat special. So, this guy is matured in charred oak. So, unless they say anything else, it's not been used for anything else. It's virgin oak, as far as I know, just has been charred, which is a technique for adding flavour. Ardbeg char their casks quite a lot. Now, Oh yeah, this is bottled at 47%. So again, 2 ticks for me. There's no sherry. It's a really unusual nose. It's difficult to put your finger on. It has quite a honeyed character. And you've got the prickle of alcohol, so that honey, alcohol, a little bit of funk again. Slight banana-y funk. I don't know whether that's from kind of signalling a slightly younger whiskey. It might be. I don't know. I wouldn't make any bets, but okay. But the nose doesn't give a lot away. The flavour, it's honey, it's floral, it's really sweet. It's really like thick acacia honey is what it is like. And in fact, what it reminded me first of was Penderyn, which would easily fit into whiskies not from Scotland. And it just puts a smile on my face. It's really just delightful in every way. Just a thin strand of bitterness, but it kind of needs it because it really is super sweet. And just that honey character, it's just... It's really lovely. Really lovely. If you can get your hands on some Stranahans, I highly recommend it. And if you're intrigued, do try the Cotswolds, but beware of its slightly bitter nature. They've still got some tinkering to do, I think. Or maybe it's an age thing. Maybe they need their whiskey to age a bit more to get some... I don't know. Theirs is a story in development, so I guess we'll keep digging into the Cotswold offering and see what happens as they mature in every sense of the word. All right, that is it from me. I think the next time I will be back will be Monday for episode 3 and 4 of The Whisper in Darkness. So, I'll see you then. Till then, take it easy. Ta-da.